Hey everybody, how's it going? Happy Thursday. Hey Alexis. Oh, good to see you. Hope it's not too late over in EU. How's everybody doing? Seen any cool birds? Green herring. Welcome, welcome. How folks' weeks been? Migration? 2 a.m. You're a trooper, Alexis. I appreciate it. Thanks for stopping by. I'm sure we'll probably see some of your photos up on the top photos of the week per usual. Sparrows herring, that's fun. What kind? Fox sparrow or anything fun along those lines? Hey Okmas, thanks for swinging by. Sparrows, what else have people been seeing? There's been a lot of fun migrants. I have some fun new video and some fun stories from the past week here. So it's happening if you haven't seen it yet. It is coming. Greenbacked firecrown. Oh, that's a very cool bird. For folks who don't know, I'll pull that one up. I really like names that are really evocative like that. You know, like greenbacked firecrown. Let's see what we got for some photos here. Check out these bad boys. That's pretty cool. There's a hummingbird that is only in Chile and Argentina, and really nice little fiery crown. Pretty fun. What else we got? Purple heron, field chippings, Fana towhees. Nice. Common gulls, Mediterranean. Oh, Mediterranean gull is a really fun bird too. Really like that one. Yeah, look at that. That's super cool. Red bill, red legs, all white wing. They look like in breeding plumage. Super cool. Nice. Anyone else seen any other fun, cool things? Warblers, ducks. What else is going on? There's so I'm down here on the Gulf Coast of the U.S. in Texas, and some more warblers coming through. So today had 11 species, I think. So the first double-digit day of the spring. So that's good, and hopefully a sign of things to come as well, which would be great. Got a Kentucky warbler elbow socks. Nice. That's one I have not yet seen this year. Probably the coolest I had today was Townsends Warbler, which is a bird that I always love to see. And I found it, so Townsends Warbler, for those who don't know, I'll pull up a picture of them as well. Two of them, and they're these warblers that love being on the ground. This is normally how I'm used to seeing them, kind of deep down on the ground, tucked away somewhere. And I had my thermal camera out, and there was just like all this underbrush, and I was just scanned with bins, couldn't find anything. Did a scan with thermal, boom, this bright dot, Townsends Warbler, found with thermal. That was pretty cool, so that felt pretty good. California Thrasher survey, nice. Scrub birds, I like scrub birds, scrub's fun. Western marsh hairy over Paris, oh, that's cool. It feels like April is the month where things start changing and moving. Where anywhere you are in the world, you can see some cool stuff. That there's something going on. There's birds doing fun things. That's cool. Anyone have any other fun things this week? So I love the diversity here. We got folks from Chile to France to different corners of the U.S. Cool. I think the next week's going to be a lot of fun. So if you're not seeing anything yet, you will be soon. Promise that. Something fun will happen. Yeah, so I guess I have some videos to look at. And this is going to be the last stream at this place here. So I have to move out of this place, unfortunately. Just here for a couple months, but I'll still be in Texas for a little bit longer. But I really have loved being at this spot, and thanks to the folks who made it possible to stay here. It's been a lot of fun. And so I decided I'm going to wear, I have a series of ridiculous, absurd bird shirts that I found online over the years. And I'm going to wear one of those the last time that I stream at a spot. So we get the hummingbird shirt today. I don't think there's a greenbacked fire crown on it, sadly. Nest box is filling up. Nice. Northern Harrier, blue-winged and green-winged teal on a horse farm. Oh, cool. Yeah, this is always the fun time of year where just a bit of rain makes for fun stuff. Yeah, comment on the shirt. It's horrible, isn't it? It's like wonderful. I love it. It's like, I guess this is this arm. This is supposed to be a ruby throated, but it's like, yeah, it's pretty amazing. It's like the thinnest, cheapest material ever. I got it for like $10 online from Eastern Europe, I think. I don't remember. It's the world we live in today. But anyway, if anyone knows of any ridiculous bird button-down shirts that exist, please let me know. I'm always trying to expand my collection. But yeah, last stream here, but I should still be able to be going live next Thursday from the place I'll be at then. But yeah. Oh, no worries, Jamie. There's no displacement. Yeah, looking forward to meeting you too, and very glad you're gonna get to. Yeah, I got some fun teasers from today, birding around some of the spots you'll be. Yeah, that is an interesting point. Oak moss. That, yeah, for folks in the southern hemisphere, and this always took me a long time as a northern hemisphere birder to really internalize that, like. When you go to the southern hemisphere, obviously the seasons are reversed, so our spring migration is fall and vice versa. And so just as things are starting to heat up here for the breeding season in northern hemisphere, summer's ending and fall's beginning. So kind of a funny thing. Yeah, I haven't found a great source of bird shirts running. I found one that's one of my favorites at Target that I'll wear in the future, but I never found it again. This was some random online. They've just all been random online stores. So if anyone else has any other ideas, let me know. We need more bird gear out there. Patagonia has a sweet pair of blue-footed booby swim trunks. If you're looking for that, they're bright pink with blue-footed boobies on them, and they're like really nice quality because they're Patagonia. So it's not a shirt, but if you're looking for a sweet piece of bird gear, it's one of my favorites. I think they have a flamingo one too. Cool. Yeah, so let's get into it, I think. Cool to hear what everyone's been seeing this week. So I did actually edit some videos this week. I was slacking on that last week. It's definitely a fun thing to juggle. I mean, I work for 8 hours a day on weekdays, and then I'm usually trying to bird before that if possible, and then after that, and then do this as well, and take photos and edit them and stuff usually falls by the wayside. So I did go through some this week though, so it'll be fun to see. So this morning a front came through, so moving from west to east across Texas, and that changed the winds around in such a way that birds that are migrating north flew into a headwind, northerly wind going the opposite direction, and it made them not want to fly anymore. So a lot of birds landed around, so there was a pretty good day of birding. And one of the things that was really fun was a bunch of Franklin's gulls. So these two in the front here and the one just behind them are Franklin's gulls, compared to all these laughing gulls behind. So if you were here for the bird tier list last week where we ranked all the gulls, everybody knows that Franklin's gull is clearly superior to laughing gull. But it's cool to have the comparison. You can really see the size difference too, that laughing gulls are fully a head taller than Franklin's, and pretty bigger just overall. These much longer bills. Franklin's have these bigger white eyebrows, kind of eyeliner, and then this really beautiful white edging on the wings, and pinky peachish below. Cute little feet. So it was super fun this morning. It was actually really cool. So it was at this spot where it's just a parking lot where a bunch of gulls loaf, kind of hang out pretty regularly. And there were all these laughing gulls that are normally there. And I was just hanging out, seeing what was flying by. And some Franklin's gulls flew past, circled a couple times, and kept going. A migrant flock. Then another flock came by, and they all went past except for one. Then a third flock came by, and while it was circling, the one that was on the ground started calling. Like it was the only Franklins, and it started calling. The second it started calling, all the other gulls immediately, like the Franklins, honed in on that spot, went and landed right around it. So it was really cool just like seeing them scoping out, like, is this the place for me? Is there any of my kind here? And when there weren't any there, they were more hesitant to land. And then one of them called them in. And it was really cool. They hung around for a good chunk of time. So it was really fun to see. Definitely an amazing bird. One of the other funny things this morning was one of the cool things I like about Gulf Coast migration is you get to see a lot of herons migrating, which I'm not used to seeing happen so much. And this morning there were a lot of cattle-egrets moving. And this one cattle-egret flew in off the Gulf. Had probably flown nonstop from Mexico and just hung out with the gulls all morning. This was like first thing. There were just a couple laughings. But later on at one point, there were like 250 gulls in turns, and just in the middle of it, this one cattle egret just hanging out. But they all got along. So he looked really exhausted. So hopefully he's doing fine. You can see kind of droopy wings, and he was sleepy. So yeah, pizza interactions like that are just so cool. It feels like you get this like insight into what birds are doing, and that there's so much intention and thought going into what they're doing. It's pretty cool. Yeah, so that was the migration stuff this morning, and then here's some other just snippets from the past week. It's been really fun having a lot of shorebirds come in because they're the best birds, and there was a recent set of high tides with winds that threw up a bunch of seaweed, kind of this mat of seaweed at the edge of the ocean. And there's whatever these little white things are in there, the shorebirds loved. And there was just this carpet of western sandpipers, so the ones with the reddish backs here and all the spots below, and then some semi-palmated sandpipers mixed in. So right here, no bright red on the back, just some kind of reddish brown, a much shorter bill, and no streaks below. Here's another semi-palmated and another semi right there. And it was really cool just seeing all these, and these are Dunlin. These much bigger ones here with the really long bills. Some of the black spots coming in on the belly for this one. Here's another Dunlin. And they were just totally tame, basically just running around and feeding 10, 15 feet away. So that was pretty cool. So excited to have a lot of these in. And semi-palmated sandpipers arrived this week. And they're one of my favorite birds. So that was really fun. I think I have another one of these, yeah. So it's been really cool having semis and westerns right next to each other. So again, semi right here, you can see slightly smaller too. That kind of holds true most of the time. These can be very tricky to identify, depending on the plumage and time of year. You can see in the back here. Here's a semi-palmated and a western as well, kind of a nice comparison too of, yeah, the westerns have this nice reddish. Semis are just brownish, smaller, no streaks below, different bill. It's almost nicer when it's blurrier because it shows the abstract rather than the detail. So cool. So cool. So that's been really fun. A lot more shorebirds coming in. Had first migrant stilt sandpipers coming through. A bunch of things. Oak moss, you can try me with any bird. Give it a whirl. I'm always down to give it a shot. There's no guarantee of anything, but try me. This has been one of the other favorite migrants this past week that is just a bird that I'm always blown away even exists. I'm not sure if Seth is here, but I think it's pretty awesome that Oklahoma has this as the state bird. But scissor-tailed flycatcher is just such an incredible bird, and they just are all over the place. At this time of year, they're kind of along highway wires and flying over, and it's just such a cool creature. It's one of those birds that every single time I see them, I'm like, how does that exist? They're so cool. So it's been a real blast. And pretty much every spring, someone has a fork-tailed flycatcher in with them, somewhere along here. So that's always the hope. But we'll see. These are such cool birds. Yeah, oak. I'll upload it. Especially if it's a shorebird, I'd love to see it. The best. I want to get good flight shots of them because they fan their tail. I think. Let me see. Pretty sure there's photos of that. Yeah, here's kind of some. But when the tail is fanned in flight, it's like one of the coolest things. I've always wanted to get that shot, like this, but even better, like the perfect side profile where it's just like a giant flying X. I definitely have like life goal bird photos, and that's one of them. Oh, look at that. That's an insane photo. Ah, so cool. Man, birds. Good stuff. So these have been really fun. Yeah, Jamie, should be seeing these soon. And then this is one of the warblers today that was really fun to actually get some cool video of. So does anybody know what this one is? I should do more of these as quizzes. Just do all these as quizzes, frankly. Yep, it is a water thrush, green herring. Does anyone have a guess as to which water thrush? I love the tail wag. The water thrush tail wag is so good. They have such great flow. Yep, Louisiana water thrush. So they have this really nice, big, very bold white eye line that gets really broad behind the eye. And the throat is clear. Might be a couple of small spots, but pretty clear and white. And then the flanks, I really like the kind of muddy, broad streaked flanks as a Louisiana field mark. I feel like that always really jumps out. A little bit of Buffy in there. But man, that tail, they got some serious moves. And it was really cool watching it just pick flies off of the duckweed here. And it seemed like a remarkable feeding rate. Just a lot of success. Okay, we have a bird photo to identify. I mean, my first guess would be just spotted flycatcher, but where is this, Alexis? Is this as a challenge, or is this as a not sure what it is? I'll take either. This is my first thought on it. It's one of these muscicapid flycatchers. Yep. Yeah, you're gonna. I actually really like this. I like the idea of a challenge. I'll always make a guess without knowing it, but I know a fair amount of global birds, but if you can trick me, that'd be awesome. But yeah, nice spotted flycatcher. Yeah, so this is one of those wonderful complexities of birding naming that there are. I don't even know how many. It's 5 or I think it's 5 different families of birds. So like unrelated, basically groups of birds are all some kind of flycatcher. So these are flycatchers that are like in the old world, Eurasia and Africa as well. And I don't think there's Miskakapid flycatchers are kind of this group in Australia. And then Australia has its own group of flycatchers, and then the flycatchers that we have in the Americas are their own thing that are totally unrelated. It's like robin, like European robin and American robin are totally unrelated, because confusing names. But yeah, I like this. Try and trick me with the bird photos. Yeah, so the water thrush is super cool. And yeah, Townsends Warbler today as well. Worm-eating warblers have just started filtering in. Hooded warbler, Parula, yellow rump warbler, of course. Wilson's warbler, orange crown warbler, those have all been around for a while. Black and white warbler, and a few other things. Other rewards on cooldown? Okay, I should shorten the cooldown on that, because that's one that would be fun to have spammed, or fun to have spammable. Yeah, send in a bit. Yeah, I'm sending all the warblers north, so they're on their way, I can promise. But things are about a week behind or so. We'll go through the life list and the life list for today in a bit, and things are about a week behind here, it seems, as to last year. I only have 2 springs of experience here. There you go, Willie. This one's for you. Ah, so good. Mint tea. Really been in a mint tea kick. Yeah, the warblers are coming, Green Herring. They're coming, but they're a little bit late here, so I'm not sure if that'll translate into later up north. Okay, Rob, things are late there as well. That's interesting. So we'll see where the holdup is. Yeah, I guess for folks, there's some folks in here that I haven't seen in a couple of weeks. So recently got, in Twitch terms, affiliate, which basically lets me have more fun things. So below the chat box, there's bird coin, which is something that you can earn, a completely fictional currency that you can redeem for random things, like identifying a bird photo, or doing a poll, or making me do an eBird quiz. I can edit your bird photo for you, do a bunch of random things. So that should hopefully be fun. Another thing too is you can also subscribe to the channel, which is kind of cool. And I think it's the first 10 folks get that fancy first thing that Songbirder and Green Herring have, and a few others. And you can only get that once, never again. But if you have Amazon Prime, you can actually subscribe for free, which is kind of fun. Common Gallinule, common moorhen. I think, yeah, black-billed and Eurasian magpie, I have no idea. Hey, Oakmoss, thanks for the sub. Thanks for the prime. So, yeah, black-billed and Eurasian magpie, I don't know how to identify those, so I would totally be... I wonder if it would look a little bit weird, though. Common Gallinule and common moorhen, I do feel that common moorhen, the old world one, does look a bit different. The head and bill structure and shape. California black-billed and yellow-billed magpies. I had my first yellow-billed magpie just as a flyover on a highway. It was very annoying, but I did get to get a better look later. Okay, let's see. Oh, Willy Poos, thank you so much. Welcome, pizza. And this looks like a pretty standard white rump sandpiper to me. Really nice photo. But yeah, it looks like a nice white rump. Is this? Yep, this is in spring. Yeah, it looks like it's just starting to get into some of the mantle colors right here. But yeah, I really, there's something about white rump sandpipers that I really love. Just the kind of grayishness here. That's super nice. And yeah, starting to get a little bit of alternate plumage here. You can see some of the nice molt there. But yeah. Yeah, thanks for stopping by, Pizza, and thanks again Thanks again, Willy Poos. Yeah, so oak moss, white rump for me. Looks like a good old white rump there. One of my favorite ones. Good stuff. Cool. I like this this photo redeem thing. I hope we get a lot more. So that's all my video. Oh no, it's not all my videos. Oh, I forgot I did more. Yes. So this was actually really cool. I love surprising yourself with things. Yep. Yeah. So for me, one of the big things, and I'm sure I'll talk about this a lot because I love shorebirds. I say there's kind of two things in the same thing that I really love. One I would say is that one of my favorite general things for shorebird identification is like general color appearance, if that makes sense. And a lot of tricky pairs of shorebirds can be differentiated by general color. So like Baird's and white rump sandpiper. So white rumped here, and I'll pull up Baird's sandpiper as well, are the kind of big peeps. Hey, Willy Poos, thank you so much. I think that's that's 10 out of 10. Okay, well, I put my sub goal at 10 out of 10 to have a guest on stream. So I don't know what for, but I will have a guest on stream too. So thanks so much, everybody. It's fun. So Baird's sandpiper. So, oh man, thanks so much for the sub. I need to change my my gifted sub text there as well. Thanks so much, Oak Moss. So let's find a winter plumaged Baird's to do comparison. You got that badge, Willy. I think you might be the last one. I think it's something I was reading into it. I think as long as I'm an affiliate, the first 10 people get it, but then if/when I become partner, then the first 25 people will retroactively get it. So there's still a shot if I keep doing this, which I think I probably will. Okay, so oh my God, Alexis, thank you. This is awesome. Thanks so much, everybody. Really appreciate the support. Okay, so big sandpiper ID in the Americas is basically there's two species of Calligra sandpipers, so little peeps that are pretty darn similar. So white rumped sandpiper and Baird's sandpiper, and they're both like 20 to 30% larger. Oh, nice, Alexis. 20 to 30% larger than the semi-palmated, least western, kind of smallest sandpiper peeps. And they have really long wings that go beyond the tail. Now they have this very long, sleek look to them. But Baird's sandpiper, kind of in every plumage, is really brownish. So this is that background color thing I was talking about. So there's this general brownish appearance for Baird's, and there's a general grayish appearance for white rumps. And it's kind of true in all plumages. So breeding plumage, wintering plumage, whatever it is, there's kind of this grayishness of white rump and brownishness of Baird's. And that can just be a really good, like, long distance, small in binoculars. You get this general vibe. It's one of these long, slightly bigger peeps. And that background color is a really nice thing. And then a lot of the specifics are Baird's just kind of have, in the winter down in Chile, Argentina, just this kind of brownish, muddy breastband. And then be grayish and streaky in the white rump here. But yeah, thanks so much, everybody, for the gift subs and everything. Man, this is fun. A hype train is close. Didn't think I'd see that on my stream in a long time, if ever. That's super cool. Thanks so much. Does that help Oak Moss with some of the white rump versus Baird's Baird's pieces for that. I know that was probably more than looking for, but I just love shorebirds. And speaking of shorebirds, this was really fun. This past week, there were these Wilson's plovers that were setting up shop here in coastal Texas, and it was really cool getting this pair here, where this is the male on the right with the bolder black breastband, black around the eye and black on the forehead. And here's the female here with just brownish in those spots. Those chonky bills. I love their shape. They're so lumpy. And the male has a yawn. Yeah. Oh, so cool. Elbow socks, thank you so much. Or thanks so much, Oak Moss, for elbow socks. Super appreciate the generosity. Look at this yawn. I didn't even realize I had the yawn. I was just looking through some videos to edit before. So I found the Avocet running by in the background. That really cracked me up. This is slowed down to like 30% speed as well. So just look at how fast this Avocet cruises by in the background at like 30% speed. The thing must have just been sprinting. It cracked me up. And there's a slow Avocet there. Oh, such cool birds. Really love Wilson's plovers. Yum, yum, yum. So that was a lot of fun. It's been cool having them set up shop. And then this was pretty fun. This was yesterday? Yeah, yesterday evening, where was going to look for migration. And over the highway, there was a massive flock, at least massive to me, of about 80 anhingas. All migrating in a flock, which I'd never seen before. I don't know if anyone here has seen that before. I'd only ever seen kind of 1s, 2s, 3s before. There's just this huge anhinga flock that was all flying like over the highway over a town. It's pretty cool. Anyone seen that before? It was a new one for me. They're so prehistoric. The tail's as long as the head. Giant flying crosses. Super cool. You never know what you'll see. But yeah, it's migration season. If you haven't been out birding recently and are looking for a reason to do so, would highly recommend it this weekend if you can. We'll look at the end of the stream at forecast for the weekend and all that good stuff as well. Yeah, that'd be super cool to see your king penguin video. Penguins are insane. Super cool. Okay. Oh, I have more. Okay, this is actually the last video. The way I have the windows, I keep forgetting. So Avocets are some of the best birds, and there's this really big flock of Avocets that hangs out at one of the spots I like to go visit here. And it was really cool just having this whole flock stalking right by. Those bills are so amazing. And the blue legs too. They're just, I don't know. I don't think you could make Avocets any better. I'm sorry Alexis too. I think American is better than pied Avocet. Pied Avocet is awesome. But I think American, I think the orange. I think it's the second or third coolest Avocet. Because this is what else we got to contend with. So Australia has red-necked Avocet, which is pretty nuts. But I don't know. I don't know if I like American better. These are almost like too much, you know? Like American has that nicer wings, I feel. And the head is deeper. I don't know. They're pretty good. And then Europe has pied avocet. Oh, actually, that's better than I remembered. That's such a nice bird. Beautiful. The bills. Avocet bill. Yeah, and then Andean. I like the red eye on Andean. Oh, I didn't know Doobie had such a good photo of this. Oh, where's that? Oh, that's where I've seen mine. Mine are in here somewhere. Oh. I always find it funny. I don't know if you go birding with a friend who's also a photographer. I have this exact same photo somewhere in here because I was standing next to Andrew when we took those photos, and then you just have like the same carbon copy as a friend. It's mine that's similar. It also looks like a red grouse head on an avocet. Yeah, it does look pretty similar, and I think those are the only avocet. Yep. But the one that is kind of like halfway between a stilt and an avocet, this is one of the greatest birds in the world. In my mind. So good. Banded stilt. It's like the body of an avocet with the head of a stilt. So cool. So cool. Okay. Well, yeah. So the avocets, and that's the actual last video. Oh, hey Lily, how's it going? Very cool. Okay. Cool. So that's all for videos that I had. The other one thing, well, that's all for like the edited nice camera videos. The other one thing is folks who may not have seen it did a field stream, out birding stream on Sunday, I think it was, where went shorebirding, and it was pretty cool. I think some folks who are here were definitely there. Be curious. I hope you thought it was cool too. I had a good time. And there were a bunch of shorebirds, and one of the coolest things was at some point we had well, let me just play the, oh, I hope this will come through. Sometimes there's challenges with playback. Yeah, I should have tested this before. The audio setup here sometimes messes this up. Anyway, we watched a merlin basically take a shorebird and then fly in off the water with it. So I would highly recommend, if you haven't yet, checking out the stream. And if you look right at this point, you should be able to see that and see it right after. I haven't clipped it yet. I just been a little bit behind on things. But yeah, we had a merlin. Basically everything flew up, and we were like, oh, what's going on with the merlin there, and or what's going on with all the birds up, and then boom, this merlin flew in. But we had a bunch of other cool things. There were just a lot of birds. I think we got good looks at more than 10 species of shorebirds in total. So yeah, if you haven't checked that out, would highly recommend it. It was pretty fun. I'm going to try and do some more field birding streams soon. The challenge with this spot is you can only do it at low wind for streaming, which doesn't happen too often, but maybe Saturday. I'm going to try and do some more warblery streams, which is going to be a fun streaming adventure. So yeah, check that out if you haven't yet, and we'll see what's next. Yeah, Ronan, be curious to hear your thoughts. Yeah, the best for notifications, the best way to make sure you get kind of notifications. So the field streams are hard to predict, but if you go, I don't know if I can see it on my own. I guess I can't. Somewhere right down down here there'll be a little bell, and if you make sure the bell has notifications on, then you'll get a note when I go live, which is the best way to know when things like that are happening. And then I need to start tweeting it out when I go live as well. That's probably the best way to do that. So let's link to that there. Anyway, do what I can to communicate it. But yeah, so that should be fun as well. But let's get started with this week in birds. So I think most folks have been here before, but for those who haven't, I normally go through and look at top photos from the past week, my life list from today, all time, birding news, birding sightings, and then we look at a forecast for the weekend's birding. So that should be fun. That's what we'll do right now. So, like I mentioned before, we're going to look at life list for today, which I really like to do just as a way to kind of remember where I've been and what happened. So if any of you click that link, you can see all the birds you've seen today. And I'd be curious if you had fun, cool things. I remember Lily had a rough last week. And yeah, if anyone has cool things they saw today, please share. What have I seen today? Oh, field sparrow. Green herring was mentioning that earlier. Just arriving. Juvenile yellow-legged herring gull IDs. I'd certainly be open to taking a look. Yeah, always open to take a look. Wouldn't say I'm a whiz at it by any means. Oh, whooping crane. Folks who get here early to see the intro, some of you may remember there's like a whooping crane dancing around with a stick in that, and that was today, 3 years ago. So that was pretty cool. What else we got? A bunch of Wisconsin. I think this is one of the only days I've ever birded in Wisconsin. Oh, woodcock. We were talking about woodcock the other day. Oh yeah, I vaguely remember that day. Oh, we got another photo. I like these photos. Mystery warbler. I have an ID on this one. So so we got a warbler here. Kind of this greenish yellowy. That's a pretty standard. I would say this greenish yellowy is kind of only shown by 2 species of warbler with wing bars and white and black streakishness here, which I know added a bunch of other characters. But that is blackpoll and bay-breasted warbler. I don't think Blackburnian warbler ever would look this kind of broadly greenish like this, especially this far down below. And bay-breasted too generally has a limier tone to the green in my mind, and I don't think these look like genuine streaks to me. And the legs here are yellow with yellow feet, and that's a very classic blackpoll warbler thing. So yellow legs, yellow feet, green streakiness, nice white wing bars, classic for bay-breasted blackpoll as well. So I would feel quite confident about this being a blackpoll warbler. Oak moss. Today, amazing day in 2019. Amazing migration, 53 species in half an hour on Lake Huron. There's still ice on the shore going out half kilometer. Oh, very cool. Nice common tern and common redpoll on the same list. You don't see that too often. Christian meadowlark, very cool. Oh, nice. Hundreds of blackbirds. The first yellow rumps. Nice. Looks like fun. Oh, and widgeon and stuff too. Very cool. Okay, Okmas, was that your ID? Looks like a black bull. Cool bird. I like this identify a bird photo thing. I've been training my whole life for this. Oh, I was actually, look at this, Alexis. I was in France 8 years ago. Camargue. Gargany. Oh, great bittern. That's such a cool noise. Yep. Nice Oakmoss. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, it's definitely a black bull. That's I will waffle on. I'll always be cautious on things that I'm not certain about. But that's definitely a black bull warbler. Nice find. Oh, this place is really cool. So the Camargue is this massive wetland in southern France. There's this fulvous whistling duck that was almost certainly an escape, even though it didn't have the clipped toe that it should have. But the thing that I love about this spot, there are these flamingos that had their heads coated in mud, and they looked like actual legit demons. Like this would be an amazing, this would be a great Twitch emote. We should definitely have this be a Twitch. I think there's one. Was there one with two? Maybe like this. It's just so ridiculous. Makes me laugh every time. Swamp monster. I like this one. Their bills are so weird too. So bizarre. And then, oh look, pied avocet. Speak of the devil. And then the really nice nesting wading birds. So lots of gray herons, and then there should be a bunch of little egrets in here too. I love little egrets. Yeah, we have the awe of the like adults with their necks wrapped around each other, and then we have like the teenagers literally biting their parents' face trying to get food. It's kind of the full spectrum of birds. Then we got little egrets. So little egrets generally will have like grayish or sometimes I think they can get some yellowish lores as well. But in breeding plumage, they get this purple lores, and their yellow feet turn reddish sometimes too. And it was really cool just seeing these violet purple faced little egrets. They're very similar to the snowy egrets we have in the US, except they have a bit different bill structure, heavier bills. Their lores are different. They have these two plumes instead of the short, shaggy crest of a snowy. Super cool though. And then cattle egrets, just like the one that flew in off the Gulf today. Super cool. Oh, we got another identify bird photo. Let's see what you got, Alexis. So March. Let's see if is this inland or coastal? Okay. So right around Paris. Okay. Yeah, this would be, I would file this under the category of I am not confident about my knowledge of this enough. My gut, just looking at it initially, like structure, feels more like yellow-legged to me. Feels like it has a smaller, like daintier head and bill that I associate more with like yellow-legged, lesser blackback type structure than herring. But I also don't see European herrings nearly as much. But I feel like European herrings to me tend to be even bulkier than Americans. But I could be wrong on that. And I think the brownish wing contrasting with the much paler mantle feels more, I would think, because it's a first winter bird, so it doesn't have a lot of mantle feathers come, like these are just starting to come in. I think a yellow European herring would be more checkered here. Less contrast between the wing and the flanks and back. But I would definitely need to brush up on my on my young gulls. All I know is if I saw this in northeastern US, I would freak out. But my sense would be yellow-legged, but I would not. I don't feel super certain on that. I need to go look at it. Pretty good day for birding. Me and friends 2 years ago. So we got Harlequin duck, nice. Collar dove. Oh, this looks cool. Oh, that's a cool shot. That's awesome. Bonapartes. Oh, nice barred owl. It's a good day. 73 species. 5 hours. That looks fun. Gulls. Gulls in the Pacific Northwest. That's cool. What else we got from today? Some more. I don't think I have photos in these other Camargue checklists. I think this was my first marsh sandpiper at that time. I got a bunch of Mediterranean gulls. Very cool. Rusty blackbird. Herring Cove out on Cape Cod. Hundreds of gannets, hundreds of red-breasted mergs. That's fun. Oh, and Race Point. If any of you ever go to Massachusetts, Cape Cod, and you're a birder, go to Race Point. There's always something fun happening there. Whether it's thousands of gannets or in the summer it'll be thousands of terns and stuff. There's just all sorts of cool things. Would highly recommend. Anyone else have any other cool lists? I love seeing your all's lists from past days. It's super fun. Oh, and in Spain. Oh wow, 14 years ago. But I think these lists are so terrible. Yeah, these lists are so imprecise that they're not public. But cool birds. Audouin's gull. This is a really cool gull. This cool grayish weird plumage. The red bill. They're like gray legs, black eyes. They're really cool. Just a Mediterranean thing. Northwest Africa. Beaters. Europe does have some cool birds. I'll give it that. Just a few though. Just a few. Yeah, the right whales out there, Lily, are really cool. Cool. Okay. Anyone else have any other fun lists from today before we go on? Just realizing to open my photo tab, so I'm going to do that. Okay. Cool. So here are the last 7 days. People have added 232,000 photos to their eBird checklists. And we're going to look at some of the top rated ones by folks. One of Mason's. Those are such cool birds. Yeah, we looked at kelp geese in here a few weeks ago. It's really cool. This is something I've always wanted to see too. Have any of you ever been and seen all the crazy chicken things in the Great Plains this time of year? For folks who don't know, the kind of March and April, there's a lot of chicken displays by all these wild species of grouse and chicken at this time of year. And some I've always wanted to see, but I've never done. But actually, I've never seen this bird. Pretty cool. Oh, that's a sweet shot. Oh, that's so cool. Look at that violet. My God. And the twinkles from the wave behind, too. This person takes really good photos. Blair. See their stuff all the time. Yeah, it's really cool. Oh, is this a cliff swallow in the snow? Oh, that's so sad. Little buddy. He looks so sad. I feel like this would be another good bird emote. Just like this face. Can't tell if that's the person or not. Hope you're alright, buddy. What we got? That's nice. I like the flowers setting off the yellow in the eyes. Oh, that's cool. Pelagic varied thrush. Beautiful. Love that wing. That's super cool. I should drop this link in chat too. What else we got? Flamingo, not in demon mode. Ideal. Oh, this is really cool. Displaying yellow crowned night heron. You got one of those, right? Green herring? We were talking about you seeing it and then you did. Is that right? That's pretty too. It's one about a hummingbird. Oh, cool. Snow photo. Oh, it's Alexis. Nice. I love photos of birds in snow. That's super cool. Always hard to get them sharp, but super cool. It was sleeping. Yeah, they like to sleep a lot. That's been one of the things, green herring, it's been really cool looking with the thermal stuff at night, is seeing night herons when they're not sleeping. You don't see too much. Oh, that's a really nice photo too. Oh, that's super cool. Interesting. It looks like it doesn't even, the claws don't even pierce the cactus. That one might be in. That one looks like it's not even. April 1st snowfall. Yeah. Good photos, but maybe not exactly what you want. That's great. Oh, that's a really cool photo, but kind of, that's a little bit gnarly. Not gonna lie. These are so cool. These big southern ibis. These things are like enormous, big, super heavily built. It's like a big goose like crossed with an ibis. There's two species, black-faced and buff-necked, that occur throughout a lot of the southern cone and the Andes. Super cool. Here's the other one. Super cool. Oh yeah, and Andean. Forgot about Andean. Pretty cool. Nice shot. Oh, those knobs are almost waxy. That's kind of crazy. Red knobbed coot. That's weird. Looks like the cherry blossoms in DC, but with more leaf birds. Oh yeah, if any of you have ever seen or encountered folks with, you know, like saying, oh, there's a leaf bird or something when you just saw a leaf and it wasn't actually a bird. There are actually birds called leaf birds in the world. They make it even more complex. But you're going to have to go to Asia to see them. Oh, this is cool. Dwarf kingfishers. Really cool. These things are tiny. Like, probably actually this big. Like, dwarf kingfishers are insanely small. It's like living gems. Really hard to photograph, too. That's cool. Another nice little snow photo. Beautiful. Another remote. I think something about swallow faces that to me just look like a good little. They're very evocative. That's a really nice photo. A little bit soft. Really nice colors, like the background. Have folks been seeing blue-winged teal at all? I feel like that's one of the good migrants this time of year. A bunch of photos. Oh, that's a funny photo. That's actually an amazing photo. Mid-air. Is there a story behind this? That's an epic photo. Yeah, it looks like they were just doing their little fly around and be cute thing. But man, actually capturing that in mid-air. It's like the little kinglet hover they do. Where they'll go up and they'll hover in front of something and often like pick a little bug off of it. Getting that sharp, that's super impressive. It's a ridiculous shot. I love that. Oh, I'm a big fan of these landscape style shots. Dolphin gull. It's a really cool bird. Things mean business. You must be seeing some of those oak moss. Pretty cool. What else we got? Oh, good old Willy Wagtail. Always like that bird name. Oh, it's a dragonfly body. And there's at least one little baby who is ready. That's cool. I like names like this. One of my goals is, I forget if I mentioned this, is to see all the birds with one word bird names. And a hyphen counts. Like Willy Wagtail. Oh, that's a funny barn owl. Oh, that is a nice barn owl. Hey, buddy. You can see this is a really pale barn owl. This is from Australia. And the eastern barn owl is much paler than the ones we get in North America. Super cool. Oh, Magellanic woodpecker. Man, this bird is amazing. Oh, interesting. Willy Wagtail is what you called them in Ireland. Huh. I wonder if that's the origin of the species name in Australia. This is one of my worst birds. Well, how do I phrase this? Is one of the birds that I have only heard that makes me really sad that I haven't seen. Because they're just insane. But only heard it. I'd love to see someday. Oh yeah, speaking of the nice looking gray herons, Alexis, I can see you're one step ahead. Here's another good bird name. This is a common redstart in the old world. Naming of redstarts that's totally different from the new world redstarts that are warblers. These are like same group as robins. Okay, one or two more of these. I'll crank through to the next. Let's see what else we got. Oh, I love this photo. It's just like one of those photos that I don't know. Maybe it's just me. It doesn't even seem like it's real. Yeah, this is one of my worst birds. Magellanic woodpecker, they're terrible. But so this species called gray goshawk has a white morph that is just like amazing. So cool that exists. And then basically Australian darter, the equivalent of Nhinga there, and just having that together, like both in focus in the same photo. It's just a very weird like cognitive dissonance thing for me. It's pretty cool. Super weird. Okay, let's find one more really cool new one. I feel like we know a lot of these birds. How that photo we saw above, We talked about that exact ferruginous duck in a past stream. Ooh, that's a nice one to end on. Man, that is a really crisp photo of a really nice bird. Wow, that's really nice. Derek Hemeister. Oh, he takes really good photos too. Man, that is awesome. Clean bird. There's something about a black and white bird that just has a couple accents of color that just like pops. Super, super nice. Very cool. Okay. Could look at these all day. That's really nice too. Alpinic centaur. Beautiful feathers. That's really nice. Okay. We gotta move on. Great. So those are all the photos. Posted that link in chat already. So on to birding news. I couldn't find, again, I haven't found much for kind of bird news that isn't just sightings, but this one is really cool. And I'll share this in chat because the audio I don't think will work, but give it one try. Yeah, it's not working. But if you want to check this out, it's the Siberian ruby throat, this rare bird that first turned up in it arrived on 19 March and still present at the end of March, and it's a mimic, and it's learned to imitate a camera shutter, which is pretty funny. Okay, it's been here since mid-November 2021. Oh, pretty hilarious. Birds will adapt. Yeah, we need more vagrant mockingbirds and stuff like that. And then this one was pretty cool too. I always find it cool just seeing how eBird data are used, and basically just showing how folks used eBird conservation and or eBird data in Ethiopia to understand where vultures were occurring that could help with conservation. And this photo of a hooded vulture is so cute. Like, I never thought I would think that like a vulture was cute, but this just looks like such a grumpy, cute vulture. I enjoy it. Stellius Jays also imitate camera shutter. Oh, very cool. Huh. That's super interesting. But yeah, so your eBird data help do cool things. So that was kind of fun to see. But that was all that I found for birding news this week. Anybody else hear of any birding things going on that aren't bird sightings, which we'll get into right after this? Yeah, Bill on Ruppel's vulture does not mess around. Ruppel's griffin, I guess. Super cool. Okay, we have the first redemption for learn about a random bird. Cool. Well, this is actually one I was excited for. So I'm just going to go here, and there's this fun surprise me button that you can hit. And I figure we'll just hit this and then learn about it and go from there. Trilling Cisticola. Oh, cool. So cisticolas, for folks who aren't aware, are this group of birds that I don't even know how many there are. We can look in a moment. But the description fairly large plain cisticola can probably describe about 30 species. This is one that I've seen, but I have to admit I don't know where or when. There's so many that are so similar that they kind of all blend together for me, and I feel a little bit bad about it. But the thing that I do love about cisticolas is they have amazing names, and they're mostly named for how they sound, because a lot of them look really similar, but they sound different. So there's trilling cisticola, chattering cisticola, bubbling cisticola, zitting Syphiling, there's a bunch. Okay, based on this, must have seen it in Uganda. Check real quickly. Yeah, southern Uganda. So trilling cisticola occurs through eastern Africa, looks like. So southern Uganda through Kenya, Tanzania, and then down through Malawi and Zambia. Also DRC, Rwanda, Burundi. And let's look at the Birds of the World account of it, because that will let us look at the other cisticolas. So yeah, here we go. Family Cysticolidae. Yeah, so there's 161 species of cisticola. And let's find the genus Cisticola. Here we go. Yeah, 51 species. I just want to pull this up just so we can go through all the names, because they're like, I just love how they all just describe different noises. Singing, whistling, chattering, trilling, bubbling, rock loving, not necessarily a noise, rattling, tinkling, wailing, chirring, chirping, winding, croaking, piping, syphiling. I think syphiling, they just ran out of descriptors. They used all the other words and had to start inventing ones. Same with zitting. And then I love that there is both a cloud scraping cisticola and a cloud cisticola. I think they could figure out something else. And wing snapping. But as you can see by looking through these photos, they are, especially some groups, insanely similar. And there's a lot of habitat selection as well, very specific habitat selection that can help with it a lot. But I do love the names, rock loving and cloud scraping. Cloud scraping cisticola is probably one of my favorite bird names of all of them. Yeah, they're not fun to identify. They're just straight up not fun to identify. And this some of the songs are pretty distinctive, but some are not. But they're cool. There's other cool types of cisticolas too. So Cysticolidae, the family. Anyway, there's a random bird. Trilling cisticola. And you got all of cisticolas as a thing. I like that one. I hope we get more people redeeming that. Cool. So there's our photos. Thanks, Ukmas, for the redemption. And let's look at bird sightings now then. So this is kind of a cool one. Ring ouzel. Yeah, request away. Might need to up the points on some of these. Maybe. We'll see. So this is a pretty cool one. Ring ouzel is this big thrush from largely northern Europe, and this is apparently the first ever south of the Sahara. So it was reported in Senegal, down here somewhere near Saint Louis, I guess right here. And there's one a little bit nearby, but I guess depending on how you want to argue about that, one of the first ever south of the Sahara, for a bird that's normally up here. So pretty cool to see. And that was just yesterday. So pretty cool record. Cool bird. Really like ring ouzel. It's a great name too. Hey Ben, thanks for the follow. Welcome in. Yeah, so ring ouzel, south of the Sahara. It's pretty fun. Our next one up. Oh, this one's actually totally crazy. So this is a bird that folks in North America may know pretty well. Oh, thanks for the cheer, Ukmas. It's the first cheer. I'm serious. I haven't customized that to be bird related. I need to do that. I think I have all the others bird related. Yeah, so this blew my mind. A lot of folks, they heard about this over the last couple days. So this record is from 4 January, but it just kind of came to light a couple days ago. Yeah, we're running water ouzel for dipper. I love that name. So this bird, seen at sea halfway between Falklands and South Georgia Island. Bird was heard vocalizing whilst flying around sailboat. It circled, landed on the rail. Wary, would fly off again. After about 2 hours of frequent landings, it disappeared. And the location of this is everywhere that Prothonotary Warbler has occurred before. This bird is here. Like, there are things that are crazy in terms of like bird occurrence, and then there's this. Like that is just one of those unfathomably off track kind of things. The one in a billion. A bird that has literally never been recorded south of Ecuador before, barely ever south of the equator, to be literally basically off of Antarctic waters, is just totally crazy. Totally crazy. Yeah, a location that is Antarctic convergence. So nuts. So crazy. Definitely one of the craziest bird records I've heard about in a while. And especially for a bird that, like, yeah, bonkers. I mean, never even occurred. Well, looks like it's occurred on Azores. But not something that's ever really made it often to elsewhere. But crazy record. Anyway, pretty bonkers. So, big fan. I'm gonna copy this list into the chat because it's just so cool. If you want to poke around with it more, it's pretty nuts. So, yeah, it's crazy stuff. We got the Protho off of Antarctica. I don't think anything's really gonna beat that this week. But there's some other cool things. This one's kind of cool. In that, so it's a common Iora, this cool Asian species, a member of Asian family. There's several species of Iora, and it's apparently Pakistan's second record, which is cool because this is a bird that occurs throughout everywhere we're looking at here. I don't know why everything is vanishing on me. There we go. And is largely resident throughout most of this range, is my understanding. I don't think they move too much, but I could be wrong. And as you'll be able to see here, they actually occur regularly super close to Pakistan. Like, this is the Pakistan border, and they're very close. But I guess there must be some, looks like they're tied to the foothills here of the Himalayas and just don't go further up or cross over. And so the fact that there's a bird that occurs regularly, I mean, what is this? This is literally 10 kilometers from Pakistan, 10, 20 kilometers, but has never, only occurred there twice. It's kind of cool. So pretty cool record to me because of that. So second record for that. It's a couple days ago. It kind of looks like a Prothonotary Warbler, generally, more than most birds. Another cool one. This is in Korea. Silver-throated tit. And I forget. It's not translate. I thought it would translate. I think it's the first record, if I remember correctly, of silver-throated tit. So yeah, first record ever here, and so this is a bird that normally occurs throughout China, but at least in eBird until this had never been reported outside of China, so it was actually almost a Chinese endemic, but now occurred in Korea, so pretty cool. Oh, we got another bird. Cool. Random bird or deem. Pretend it's not random and it's specifically this species. Okay. Oh, white-faced redstart. So this is cool, actually. So these are... This is actually going to get a 2-for-1 deal here, because there's two birds that are very similar here. So want to jump over to Birds of the World because there's no photos of this bird in existence that I'm aware of. I believe it has never been photographed. So there's this bird, white-faced redstart, and then one other that is it saffron-breasted? Yeah, it's this one as well. Another one of these white starts, and they occur only on very specific tepuis in Venezuela. And so tepuis are those tepui. So tepuis, if you've seen the movie Up, I love that movie. They're these really cool landforms that are in northern South America and the Guianan Shield that are, my understanding is basically relics of a previous very robust kind of set of geology that's everything else is eroded around it, and they're just flat-topped relics of this previous stuff. And yeah, on top there's often these unique life forms. Yeah, so like you're saying, Lily, there's definitely plants and animals, and there's a suite of birds that occurs across a bunch of the tepuis. So there's a whole suite of different tepuis, and some of them are really barren on top, and some of the stuff is up the sides. But there are these, I think it's two, three, four specific tepuis that these white starts occur on that people basically can't get to. The only way in, I believe, is with a helicopter and with government permission. I think they're this has been my understanding. I used to have a friend who's looked into it, and it's basically really, really logistically challenging to get there. And especially given challenges with moving around in Venezuela, it can be even more difficult. So nobody has photographed either of these species, is my understanding. And so that's why there's no photos here, is that there are actually no photos. So this occurs just on one tepui. And the previous one, I think, is on 3. Yeah, humid forest on a few tepuis in the state of Amazonas. And no one's been there. And it's just this really cool, yeah. So like this entire bird's range. So this one has a few eBird records. I think the other one might not even have any records. But yeah, really, really cool birds that are basically unknown, but really, really challenging, essentially impossible to get to right now in today's kind of combination of political climate there and the logistical challenges of getting there, is my understanding. But really, really cool stuff. I just think it's awesome that there are birds still out there that we just don't know about. We know right where they are, like this says right here. Where was it? Yeah, they're protected out of bounds to visitors, but not under any immediate threat. And we know they're out there. We can't do anything. It's kind of cool, to me at least, that there's still stuff like that out there. So, oak moss, cool redemption, cool birds. Be an awesome one to see. And there are other tepuis. Roraima is the one that folks go to a lot. I don't know about a lot, but yeah, here it is in the search. But I have friends who went there before Venezuela was as challenging to travel in as it is right now. And you can hike up the side of that and get a lot of the tepui endemics on a lot of these. I think it's mostly the lower slopes. But yeah, pretty cool stuff. A lot of cool birds, cool places, cool worlds out there. Cool. Where were we? Oh yeah, we were at silver-throated tip. So that was cool. First ever for South Korea, I believe. And cool to see that. And what's next? Oh yeah, cinnamon teal. This is actually a cool one. So I think it was last week we talked about how cinnamon teal are. There was a record in New York I think we looked at 1 or 2 weeks ago, and then now this week, just zooming forward that little bit of time, the one in New York has been joined by a bunch more that are turning up out of range in the east. So there's one in Pennsylvania, one in Indiana, Michigan. They're farther east than normal in Missouri, Minnesota, etc. So there's definitely, Louisiana, and then down here as well. There's a cinnamon teal thing happening right now. So if you're in the eastern U.S. and there's some ducks somewhere, there's definitely a cinnamon teal thing going on. So I think they're mostly hanging out with blue-winged teal, which makes sense. I'd look for them with flocks of blue-winged and green-winged teal right now. And they're pretty cool. I'll also keep an eye out for females as well, which my guess would be go under the radar. They'll be these warm, large build and warmer than blue-winged teal. They can look really similar. But yeah, so keep an eye out for blue-winged teal. I really want someone from chat here to find one of these birds that we talk about. We talked about slatybacks when there were just 1 or 2. Then there were 15 slatybacks, but I don't think anybody here found one of them. But that kind of happened. And we looked at cinnamon teal. Now there's a ton of cinnamon teal. One of these times, someone from chat's gonna find one. It's gonna be a great day. Big fan. Cool. So keep an eye out. Yeah, look through 150 blue-wing today. That's what we need running. Maybe tomorrow. It's always tomorrow. Cinnamon teal. What was next? Oh yeah, a near and dear friend to my heart has found a new spot. So the Stellar's sea eagle that everybody knows and I think most people love. It's brought a lot of people happiness. Has resurfaced again in Nova Scotia. So it was last seen in early March in Maine. Then it vanished for several weeks. And then on April 1st, it was reported in a field in Nova Scotia. And it was like really bad distant photo. But it seemed legit. It was like April Fool. So I think I at least was like, is this really legit? But folks looked and it all seemed good. And then on the 5th, just on Tuesday, a few more folks had it and found it in the same areas that had been seen on Sunday. And sure enough, it's our friend. So the Stellar's is now in Nova Scotia. And who knows how long it'll stay there, but already been there for a week. And then we'll see what's next. So keep an eye out. But in Nova Scotia right now. I'm curious, did anybody here see this bird in its tour of northeastern North America yet? Mass or Maine or Quebec or anything like that? It's such a cool bird. Oh, you did get there in time, Lily. That's great. I had friends who arrived 5 minutes after, which was not ideal. I made a video on it right after it left Mass. And the video is 36,000 views on YouTube now. It's kind of cool. Everybody likes the seagull. Oh, no way. That's awesome. Oh yeah, you saw Will, Liam, and Amy pulled over. Yeah, they were with us, and they had just left, and started driving. And yeah, you got it just overhead. Oh, I didn't realize. Yeah, I remember seeing these photos because these were the last photos of the bird. That's awesome. I didn't realize these. I connect that these were your photos. I remember looking at these because at the time, was trying to confirm that it was the same bird, and your photos had the best shots of the upper wing. Because you're the only person that had the this angle on it. That's really funny. Small world, such a cool bird. super cool. Yep, and then here's the map of the Stellar's sea eagle for folks who aren't familiar with this bird. It normally lives here in this one individual over the last, 20 months now or so. Been Alaska, Texas, right here in New Brunswick, then around Quebec, down to Nova Scotia, came down to Mass, went up to Maine, now it's back over in Nova Scotia. So, pretty crazy. Who knows where it'll go next? Hey, maybe Alexis, maybe it'll turn up over here somewhere, sometime, someday. You never know. What a bird. Our next bird is from a totally different part of the world. Bahama mockingbird in Florida, Palm Beach, which seems like they turn up all the time there these days. Maybe I'm just misremembering, but kind of cool. It's a bird that very, very small world range. Bahamas, looks like Cayman Islands, and then just islands off of Cuba. But they turn up right along the shore here in Florida sometimes as well. So kind of cool. Bahama mockingbird. It's a fun name. And then a Heermann's gull. This is another one to look at. I think we're going to get more and more of these in the eastern U.S. if recent years have been any indication. Definitely just been turning up a lot more. And this is pretty cool. This is Maryland's first record, I believe. So I think this is one of these individuals that's been turning up at a bunch of different places. I think most of these records are like from one or two individual birds, but I haven't been keeping too close tabs on it. But right in downtown Baltimore, there's this one right now. The Inner Harbor. Pretty cool to see. Got to watch an immature plumbeous rail walk out of Riverside Reeds into an empty field and hop its way up to the top of a tree. Huh. Interesting. That's really weird. Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like birds just do things that aren't really explainable. And I don't know if that's just like too much of a cop-out. Is it just like, okay, well, doesn't make sense, whatever. My guess would be more of them than we think have some kind of reason of doing things, but sometimes it does seem like, man, they're just trying to be actively, I don't know. I don't even know what the word is, but yeah, sometimes you're just like, I'm just going to pretend that didn't happen. I don't really know what that bird did. I don't really know why. Let's just move on. That sounds like that might be one of those good times. That's really cool though. Thanks for sharing. I love weird bird behavior. Yeah, let's confuse the humans. Yeah, really all this is just an elaborate prank on us. They're like, oh yeah, let's get all these people to go and pay a bunch of money for pieces of glass they can look through at us, and they're actually just all like changing costumes all the time. Oh, this could be like a whole birds aren't real, like parallel conspiracy theory. That it's like actually just all one kind of bird, but they're all just like changing an oversuit all the time. They're like, let's go be a penguin for a while. Let's go be a rail. Maybe it was a warbler that put on a rail suit, and so it was back in the tree. I need to flesh this out. I think this has potential. So Heermann's gull, another one to keep an eye out for in the eastern U.S. Would recommend. Oh, speaking of keeping an eye out, this is such a cool record. This is such a cool bird. So Brooklyn, downtown New York City area. On Saturday, someone had a zone-tailed hawk fly over with turkey vultures and a red-tailed hawk. So zone-tailed hawk is a cool bird that occurs throughout much of tropical Americas. making its way up into some of the southwestern and southern U.S. Yeah, Ben, it's super cool. And the cool thing about this is that it's something that has happened a couple other times, and I think both of those other times the same individual zone-tailed was seen in a bunch of different places. So this bird, if past is any indication, will likely be seen other spots. So if we go and look at this other set of records here in the Northeast, I believe it was 2014 and 2015 were the two strings. This is the 2015 one, September. Oh, I gotta get my chronology right here. Here's 2014 one. 2014, end of April. Oh, this is Wasquee TTOR. I know the person who helps manage this. That's crazy. I didn't know that. I'll have to ask her if she knows about that record. And then, yeah, 2014 601. 1976, that's not the one. And then, sorry, I have to piece this together. Then 2014. Okay, so if I remember correctly, this bird here, the one that was here on 4/25, and then here on so April 25th and then June 1st, I believe was the same bird that was seen in both those spots. And then in 2015, in the fall, there was this one that was seen here in Rhode Island on August 15th. Then one was seen here in Connecticut on September 20th that I think was thought to be the same bird, and then was seen September 23rd in Cape May, and then seen September 23rd, 4th, and 8th in Virginia. So it was like the same individual that was just seen moving down the eastern seaboard at all these different hawk watches and coastal viewpoints. So pretty crazy. I always find it amazing when birds like this are seen at a bunch of different spots. And this one, you always want one that has unique characters, like unique feather pattern that you can. This looks like a pretty distinctive molt state to me. These longer central tail feathers with the ones like that. So if you have like a bird that has some unique plumage character, you can then usually confirm. It's like the stellar seagull has unique patterns of white and dark. But yeah, so keep an eye out if you're anywhere in the eastern U.S. for this as well. Man, you gotta look out for cinnamon teal, Heermann's gulls, zone-tailed hawks. Got a busy spring ahead. But super, super cool record. So crazy. Don't just discount every turkey vulture. Any turkey vulture could be a zone-tailed hawk. And this last one is not a rare bird, but it's just a photo that I saw this week that blew my mind because I had no idea that baby Aningas looked like this. Like, what even is that? Like, this is its body. This is its, like, the head's like 7 sizes too small. The body's like 4 times too big. It's all looks like it's like a llama or like an alpaca, like fur. It's all felted. The feet are enormous. It's like maybe the most awkward looking young bird I've ever seen in my life. Even though it's not a rare bird, a friend of mine sent it to me this week, and it's just too good not to look at. It is insane. Yeah, Lily, it's either 2 of 10 or 10 out of 10. I can't quite decide. It might even be 11 out of 10. Ronin zone-taileds, I don't think of them as wobbling as much as turkey vulture. They're also a pretty distinctively smaller. They're like maybe 20-30% smaller. when you see it, you're usually like, oh, turkey vulture, but you'll like have that sense of questioning. But they do have the same V in the wings, so anything that has a V, just make sure you double check it. The Pacific Northwest. I mean, most of the things that are turning up in the east you already have there. I haven't seen in the rarities, at least, any trends for stuff turning up on the west coast right now that we've been looking at here. But yeah, I'm not sure. Slatyback. I guess slatybacks would be the one, but that'll be fading out pretty soon. But yeah, I can't tell if I hate this or if this is my spirit animal. That's kind of where I am right now. I kind of want to put it as like the background on my phone, just so people, just to see who asks about it. God, it's so funny. I just can't get over it. It's been haunting me all week. I love it. Cool. So that's all I have for bird sightings. Just want to leave this up as long as possible. Does anybody have any other cool bird sightings you heard about this week? Do you want to share? Anything fun and interesting? Trying to think what else. Those were all the like rare things. I want to try and find more cool phenomena. Like, to me, the most interesting ones are like what's happening, what to look out for, what to keep thinking about, and those are definitely the ones that take the most time to pull together. But I should do more of that. Cool. Well, if no more bird sightings, then let's dive into the forecast for the weekend. The Birdcast. So for lower 48 folks, Oak Moss, I think it's usually for the This Week in Bird stuff, try to look for stuff that has at least come to light in the past week. But if there's something that's super, super cool that you want to share, go for it. So what we're looking at here is Birdcast, which for folks in lower 48 US is a really great tool for migration. So basically this is predicting where birds will be migrating for the next few nights. So tonight, if you're in the west, that is something I should actually look at. Here. I'd forgotten. Bear Divide. So that just reminded me. So this is a spot just outside of Los Angeles that is the coolest, I would argue the coolest visible migration spot in the western United States for songbirds. And it is just in the hills above LA, so north of LA. And my understanding of it from talking with Ryan about it is that basically there's this little gap in these hills, and these birds shoot the gap, and you get some pretty awesome visible migration. So like here's 100 hummingbirds or so they had migrating by, Cassins and western kingbirds, migrant phainopepla, female, much lesser goldfinches, Lawrence's goldfinches, hooded orioles migrating by in flight, hundreds of yellow-rumped warblers, black-throated grays, Townsends and hermit, 25 lazuli buntings. And that was today. They had a big day this week, I heard. Was it the 6th? The 5th? Let's see. But yeah, this is bird news. Turkey vultures. Okay, that's all resident birds. Here we go. This must be the day. Yeah, 4,500 individuals. Yeah, band-tailed pigeon, just like all these things that you don't see migrating too often. Oh, that's an awesome photo. Oh yeah, Marky takes great photos. But yeah, getting good photos like migrant swifts, 200 hummingbirds. Oh, that's cool. Flock of whimbrel way up in the mountains. 134 Swainson's hawks. Oh, some beautiful dark ones. So this is a pretty cool spot that has just been popping off this week. 320 western kingbirds. Things like Cassin's vireos in flight. Blue-gray gnatcatchers, purple finch. It's just like all sorts of things. Hundreds of white-crowned sparrows. 1,500 or 2,000 yellow rumps, basically. 50 black. Oh man, I gotta get here someday. Black-headed grosbeaks, hundreds of other stuff. Anyway, this place is super cool, and I was reminded of it by the migration map. I'm gonna drop this hotspot in because it's super cool. Because in looking at this, my guess would be it could be pretty interesting the next couple nights, as there's some good stuff migrating through there. Talking about guests. Oh yeah, someone who works on Birdcast would be a super interesting guest to have on. That'd be great. Yeah, actually, I'm pretty good friends with Birdcast folks, and one of them is going to be visiting me for a week towards the end of April. That could actually be really good. It's a really cool idea lately. Like that. How long will that flight continue? My sense is, Ronan, that it really does peak mostly in early to mid-April, but I would just keep an eye. I'd check the hotspot, the link in chat there, and see what the bar charts say and all that. Could certainly be more things going on, but lots of cool stuff. So, and then this is April 9th, so that's Saturday night. So it looks like Sunday morning will be the better day for all the central U.S. For migration. Maybe Saturday in the Northeast, a little bit more migration Friday night. And then the West tomorrow is probably the best after a good migration tonight. Let's pair that with the weather. We can look at weather in EU as well. So at dawn on Saturday, gonna be wet. Oops. A lot of the Northeast. So Saturday, oops. There we go. That was today. Saturday, oh yeah, snow in the Northwest. Looks like a little bit rough in the Northeast. Pretty darn good in Great Plains, Midwest. In the West, yeah, it looks like Sunday is going to be better in general in a lot of the Northeast. Saturday, better, upper Midwest. And then the South, generally pretty good both days. And further north, looks like in general, Sunday is going to be better for most of Canada. Cold blast coming through the Midwest and EU. Whoa, that's a serious storm. Saturday looks pretty good for Western Europe. Low wind. France, Iberia. Looks pretty good. Scandinavia, a bit snowy. South Central, a bit wet. Yeah, it looks like most of Central Europe. A lot better on Sunday. Scandinavia probably better on Sunday. And Western Europe looking pretty good both days, except Western Portugal. We'll see. Some good migration winds too. Not too much. No real southerly winds. It's got to come soon. Do things, I don't know if Alexis or anyone's still up from EU, but be curious if things are late there too. We were talking earlier about how things feel about a week late in North America, and at least where I am, and in Ontario where Rob was so far. But we'll see how it goes. Cool. Well, that's the birdcast, the weekend birding forecast, and I'll drop this link in as well because folks often ask about it, and I love this website. Should get sponsored by Venture Sky. That'd be pretty funny, actually. Cool. Well, does anybody have anything else going on? Any other bird things on your mind? You're thinking about, looking forward to? Does anybody have any target birds for the weekend? Anything you're going to be out looking for outside of cinnamon teal, Herman's gull? I already forgot the last one. Zone-tailed hawk. What are you looking for? That's what we should do. At the end of this every week, we should set some bird goals for the week. What do I want to find? I would like to see a buff-breasted sandpiper this week. I want to pick three things I would like to see. I would like to go birding at least 3 times this week. That one should be easy. Vicky heading to a botanical garden going for the birds. Nice. I like that. Get that two for one deal. You can go into the guise of botanical, get the birds. Good luck. That should be fun. Parker River, cinnamon teal. Yeah, Lily, there's often some spots like in Rowley, or at least there used to be, like some good spots along like rain. I don't know how wet it is, but where there'd often be some random things there as well for teal. I don't know if they're all the same as they used to be. Okay, I want to finish mine before doing this. Buff-breasted sandpiper. Birding at least 3 days, and I'm not gonna look at chat till I pick the third. 15 species of shorebird in a day. One of these days. I think I can get that. So what we got. Until April 28th to pull 4 more lifers and study abroad. 100 lifers. 4 more. Okay, red shoveler. Red shoveler is a cool bird. Run like rushbird. Many-colored rush tyrant. Many-colored rush tyrant is incredible. You should definitely check that out. Yeah, Lily. I'm trying to remember. I think in Newbury as well, West Newbury, there used to be some farm fields that would get flooded and get pretty good. If you just look like greater yellowlegs or green-winged teal species maps for April, there should be a bunch of places with that habitat. Look for the grasshopper sparrow mist. Good luck, green herring. That goes well. Oh, hey, good to know. Welcome. Good to see you. Weather's finally clearing out. Trying to figure out where to head to see as much as you can. It's always the goal. And even if it's not like as much as you can, there's still always fun stuff to see, fun stuff to do. That's cool. I think for me, my goal is always to just like go out and see what's there a few times a week. But it's fun to see what comes through, especially as it's so dynamic right now in April. Probably check to see if our Henslow sparrows have come back. Oh, very cool. Get to tag an area that a local vineyard won't mow. Oh, Ronan, that's so cool. That's really great. Good for you. That's awesome. That's awesome. Henslow sparrows are a really cool bird. I feel like that's an underrated bird for sure. The weather's been lousy so you're feeling deprived. Get to know. Sounds like you gotta go get some birds. I mean, it's your name. You gotta go get to know birds. I wonder if that's taken. That would be a good. That would actually be a pretty good name. If it's not. Cool. Anyone have any other goals? Cool. Well, I am going to call it there, I think. Like I mentioned before, I am hoping to get out and do some more field birding streams, weather depending. But I'm going to try to get at least one of those in a weekend, and maybe some in the evenings or mornings before work potentially. But see how that goes. So that should be fun. And yeah, if you're new here, please consider following the stream. You get notifications when I go out birding, and I'm going to try and do these, continue these on Thursdays, and I'll post on Twitter and stuff. If I'm not, and I'll cancel in my stream schedule here. And yeah, it's my last stream from this spot. I'll be in a different background next time we look. I'll drop social links in there, and also there's a bunch of other folks, well, some folks that are getting started doing other bird content. So here's links to all their channels as well. Please go give them a follow if you like bird stuff. And if you are interested in getting started or thinking about or learning about trying to stream bird stuff, please feel free to message me, whisper on Twitch, or reach out to me through anywhere really. And we have a little community that we're setting up to try and figure out how to get more folks streaming birds. So if you have questions or curiosity, please don't hesitate to reach out. And yeah, thanks so much for stopping by. Let's see who is live. Let's see who we can send folks over to. I love that message. Good to know. Have a good weekend. I hope you achieve your goals. Is there anything more pure than that? I love it. Let's see what we got. There's a few bird cam streams. And Rob, yeah, if you're gonna go live, I can just send them over to you. If not, I'll probably send everybody over to Window to Wildlife. But let me know. It's up now, but rerun. Okay, interesting. Cool. Well, I haven't seen this stream, so I'm gonna send everyone over there, so we can check it out. So Rob's doing some cool stuff with a lot of audio things, dawn chorus stream, stuff like that. So I'm gonna raid Rob here, Songbirder. Thanks so much again, everyone, for stopping by. See y'all in a week for another This Week in Birds. Gonna be birding at some point between now and then. As Get to Know said, have a good weekend, and I hope you achieve your goals, bird related or otherwise. So have a good night, and see you out there.